Sewsew Def is going to be the very first multicultural magazine. There's nothing else out there like this. And second of all, it's the only sewing magazine that caters to both men and women. I mean, for me, I've been able to cross borders, right? So I've been able to be featured in all of the sewing magazines that are out there. But to be honest, you don't see a lot of people that look like me in those sewing magazines. So I feel it's like our job to feature all of these makers that are out there in the Latino community, in the African American community, that do not get featured, that do not get seen, and that's kind of our purpose. There's a lot of people doing extraordinary things that don't get seen, but we're about to change that.
Yes, we want to shed light on all the creatives from all different walks of life.
You know, you can see something in the street, or I can see something in a magazine, and I can be like, oh, I can make that. And to be able to do that, to take it from a sketch, from a picture, and then actually think about how to make it, how to construct it, put it together, photograph it, style it, post it, like all that is just like
mind-blowing.
Yeah, it really is.
It's really crazy.
Every issue, I think, has a theme, right? So we have an idea of what we want that issue to be about, and then we kind of search for either influencers, sewing bloggers that we follow, that we know about, and then we kind of, you know, decide what we want to feature. And a lot of times, because we have the ability to make, we just can make literally whatever we need for that issue. This color.
So the three most important things about Sewsew Def magazine is that it's for men and for women. You get one male and female pattern with every issue, and it's multicultural.
That kind of makes Sewsew Def completely different than any other magazine, especially sewing magazine out there, is that there's zero male presence in any of the sewing magazines. It's like they just completely ignore the fact that there are a lot of men who sew, that are creative and love the sewing process. And then we want to be able to showcase different things. I mean, the whole purpose of Sewsew Def is that it's a multicultural magazine. So we want to be able to show those different faces in that magazine. So we have somebody that's specifically catered to the curvy girl, the plus size girl. We have somebody that caters, you know, to somebody who does a lot of blogging and behind the scenes scheduling to kind of help sewists stay on track as they're doing projects. So I think everybody we picked, including the men that Norris picked, all kind of have a special kind of either technique or influence that we were looking for.
Sewsew Def is more of a movement, and for me, I have a hashtag Don't Men Sew, which is a movement for all men to feel good about getting up on the sewing machine and creating garments.
So I think people don't realize how much hard work goes into it. They see a finished magazine with gorgeous pictures and all the pretty things, but there's a lot of difficult things that go on behind the scenes that I guess, you know, people are not privy to.
One of the best parts about the design process with the magazine is the layout.
So I guess our process is we take a lot of the images that we either are inspired by or that we actually see in the magazine, and then we pin them up, move them around, talk about what fabrics are going to be.
Nice classic.
And you are wearing
The three most important things about Sewsew Def magazine is that it's multicultural, it's for men and women, and with each issue, you get one female and one male pattern.
Right now we have a small team at Sewsew Def that makes the magic happen every month. But you know, eventually in 10 years from now, I want to be able to have a huge magazine that employs a lot of creative people giving back to the community, providing resources, and of course, creating jobs.
Yes, because sewing is universal and Sewsew Def is a global movement.
I think we want Sewsew Def to be, you know, an inspiration, especially to millennials, to people coming up wanting to be fashion designers or work in the fashion industry and really don't have a resource, don't know where to go. We really want to show that learning to sew is easy. It's not super difficult. It's fun. You can, you know, learn to do something that you really have a passion for without having to spend a whole lot of money and or time, you know, trying to create those things for yourself. And we want to be that inspiration. Sewsew Def is not our magazine. It's really your magazine. So if you're a maker, if you're a designer, if you're a DIY blogger and you have great content that you want to contribute, please send us those submissions. We want to see them and we want to feature you.
You will be seen.